I'm Martin Luther King Jr., and by using transformational leadership, I modeled the way by starting a movement within the African American community. Through nonviolent protests, I was able to inspire a shared vision with the African American community. And in a time where African Americans were treated differently than others, I challenged the process by attacking the problem head on. I enable myself as well as others to join the movement and prove that we as people are all equal.
Hello, my name is Aaron Gruhl. By being placed in a classroom full of troubled students, I was able to model the way how these students see the world as well as how the world sees my students. Through various readings, such as the Diary of Anne Frank, Night, and as well as Zelada's Diary, I was able to expose these students to see that others have faced hardships and how hard work and determination can change them as individuals. I had my students challenge the process by creating a book to illustrate their progress from troubled teens to individuals with dreams and goals. I enabled the students to act, and the book became a published novel as well as a symbol for many to come.
Martin Luther King. Early on, I decided that this movement was a lot larger than myself. I was able to meet with many of my supporters to determine what the best course of action was. After that, we began to spread awareness for our cause. Many joined, and soon enough we had an outstanding following for the betterment of the cause. Through personal sacrifice, I was able to serve as a figure for those who needed a symbol of hope.
Hi, I'm Erin Gruel. At first, it was extremely difficult for my students to understand what exactly my overall vision was for them. I truly didn't believe that things would go the way they did. I was able to listen to the students' issues and created a system that would work for all. I brought awareness to the students of how serious the nature of their problems were. Gang members, thugs, drug dealers, you name it, we've had it. I was able to eventually show the students that there are ways to stray from what they once knew and to develop into responsible adults.
Hello, I'm Martin Luther King Jr. As a leader of the in-group, I was able to encourage many of the out-group members to join our fight for equality. Although it was not a simple process, many joined the movement and it slowly turned into one of the largest scale protests in history. Hello, I'm Aaron Gruhl. Initially, I was a member of the out-group. Every member of the staff treated me as if I was worthless. They made me feel as though I could have no impact on my students. While in the classroom, however, I was a leader of the in-group. At first, the students were hesitant to join in their efforts to improve their overall view of how they should act as citizens and how others should portray them. Eventually, and after many years of trying, the students began to see themselves as much more than they had originally. Society soon followed and began seeing them as much more than just a group of underprivileged delinquents.
Well, hello there. It's Martin Luther King Jr. again, and I'm just here to tell you a little bit more about myself. I consider myself to be an extremely ethical leader. And by showing both black and white individuals respect, I gave respect to all people. Serving as a public figure for others, I'm a symbol of hope for those who cannot fight this battle alone. I welcomed every individual who wanted to stand for our cause, no matter what their background was. In my famous I Have a Dream speech, I recognized the need for justice for every group that was being oppressed. I remained honest throughout the civil rights movement, and I never denied my illegal actions during the movement. I admitted to them and realized that this was a necessary evil that would eventually augment the relationship between the diverse cultures. I built up the community through the positive relationships I formed in America during the civil rights movement. And then I worked diligently to develop stable relationships within the community that will inspire those to continue the fight for equality and justice for all.
I'm Aaron Gruhl. Ethical leadership is a leadership style that I attempted to accomplish in my classroom every day. By giving mutual respect to all of my students, I was able to earn their respect in return. I had always had an admiration to teach children. By serving as a role model to my students, I was able to give back. I found it my duty to mold and educate the students into respectable young individuals. I provided justice within my classroom by not treating the students as if they were lesser or more subpar than any other class. I provided the students with the idea that their class was nothing less than the upper level course. This justice was not previously given to the students by my predecessor. I was always honest with my students throughout my time with them. I never gave my students false hope. When I made promises to the class, I kept them. I gave the students a sense of a safe community within the classroom. The students felt comfortable confiding with each other, at first a difficult task. By the time the students finished the program, they developed into a family instead of a class.
Hi, I'm Martin Luther King. I assessed problems throughout the country and then delegated the necessary information that was needed within that community so that the performance and development of the movement would maintain its strength. When necessary, I would intervene with a group of activists to train and focus on them, our nonviolent protests. This maintained the standards of the movement and made sure that our results aligned with our mission statement. Through collaboration with activists within the civil rights movement, I was able to coach our brethren so they would model our principles properly. Our sense of community was built by satisfying the needs within our movement and managing conflicts that came from within or from external factors.
Hi, I'm Aaron Gruhl. When entering the classroom, I had to keep in mind the battles that each individual student was dealing with. I provided an excellent buffering system that enabled students to express themselves without receiving negative feedback from fellow students. Through networking with people who dealt with negative repercussions of race and cultural background, I was able to show the students that your goals can be achieved through hard work and determination no matter where they came from. By sharing information on the Holocaust and Zlata's diary, I was able to show students that they are not alone in their troubles. I taught the students to relay their feelings into a journal, which allowed them to focus on the bigger picture. From there, they were able to structure their goals accordingly. Using these leadership actions, I was able to increase the performance of the students and develop them into not only great students, but model citizens.